1 versus 2. Destiny versus history, and maybe the most physical Big Ten title game we've ever seen. Yes, that includes matchups where Iowa and Michigan were involved. The undefeated Ohio State Buckeyes and the undefeated Indiana Hoosiers. Yes, 12-0 Indiana. Crazy to think about. Collide in Lucas Oil Stadium on Saturday night in Indianapolis, Indiana. A national title, number one seed on the line, 2 elite defenses, 2 unshakable quarterbacks, and 2 fan bases that believe this is their year. Buckeye fans, we've been saying since midseason, you're built to win the national championship. But Indiana has been a storyline juggernaut. Hoosier fans, tell us in the comments why your team pulls out the upset. I'm Nathan Johnston alongside Brad Hopkins. It's time to break the huddle. Brad, setting the stage for this matchup. Number 1 versus number 2. Doesn't get any better. 2 undefeated teams in the Big Ten Conference Championship game. Winner likely gets the number 1 seed in the college football playoff. How to watch this game? Well, Fox at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday night. And my opening question to you, Brad, is history says this should be Ohio State's stage. But Indiana just put together one of the most complete seasons in modern college football history, Big Ten history as well. What's the biggest storyline for you heading into this one?
I mean, Ohio State's a blue blood. Ohio State is one of the most recognizable brands in college football, in American sports. What a job Curt Cignetti has done, and I appreciate it. They're a hard-nosed football team. They're hardworking. I think he's done a fantastic job in the portal. He's got a great coaching staff. He has got, Bloomington, Indiana, and Indiana University just excited. Of course, he's about to get paid in the offseason, just hit a huge extension. What a job he's done. I can't say hats off. Gonna throw this in, Nate. I know you said earlier in the year, if you don't know who he is, just Google him.
Yeah.
He's famous for that. I was really impressed with the guy. After that Oregon game, he was so emotional. He believes in his team. I will say, whether, it comes across as arrogant or full of himself, whatever, he believes in himself as a coach. I think that's obvious. But the guy's just a winner, and his team takes on that personality.
Yeah, and I think the biggest matchup for this game is Sayin versus Mendoza.
Absolutely.
Neither have been rattled. I've seen Mendoza come back against Penn State.
Yep.
I've seen Sayin grind it out against Texas. These quarterbacks have been tested on both sides, and they've prevailed every single time.
Yep.
And everyone wondered, what would Sayin do in the big house against Michigan? Well, I'll tell you what he did.
Ice in his veins.
Wasn't even close.
Ice in his veins. That guy's so good.
I mean, I'm a little biased against Ohio State, not really liking them much, just as a personal fan. But yeah, you can't say enough about this Ohio State offense. They are unreal. I will say a lot about Ryan Day's Just for Men, but we'll get into that in another episode. Ohio State with Julian Sayin, over 3,000 yards passing, 30 touchdowns, 5 picks on the year, 78% completion rate. How do you not give this guy the Heisman? And then Mendoza on the other side for Indiana. Fernando, of all people, Spanish. Love this guy. Over 2,700 yards passing, 32 touchdowns and 5 picks, 72% completion rate. Both of these guys deserve the Heisman this year. They have played outstanding football. And at some point, you expected them to kind of maybe fall off for a game, and they just continue to grow.
Yeah.
It's been phenomenal to watch. Excuse me. Sorry about their defense. Pressure stats. Ohio State sack rate, 4th nationally. Indiana's sack rate, 17th nationally. Turnovers will decide this, in my opinion. Indiana leads the nation, plus 17 turnover margin. They feed off of that defensive energy, getting the ball back for that offense. They average 2 takeaways per game. Brad, do you think either quarterback finally looks human Saturday? And who gets sped up first, Sayin or Mendoza?
Oh man,
Take your time.
Truthfully, I think Mendoza.
Okay.
The most I've watched Ohio State, I watched him, of course, week 1 against Texas. Julian Sayin looked like he was making his first start.
Yeah.
Watched the whole game this past Saturday against Michigan. Julian Sayin, once again, he's got ice in his veins. That dude is a stone cold killer. I think we forget he was, a 5-star, enrolled at Alabama. Nick Saban leaves, he transfers to Ohio State. This guy, Nate, he's going to be a first-round pick in a couple of years. I think Mendoza, we've seen he can be a little careless with football at times. I know they have the same amount of interceptions, but Mendoza's, to me, at least been a little bit more careless. I think, especially with that Ohio State defense, I think Mendoza's the one to get rattled Saturday.
I agree too. It's really going to come down to which offensive line holds up better. And Ohio State did a great job against that Michigan front Saturday.
Fantastic job.
I mean, we don't give enough credit to Michigan's defense. They're still a really good defense.
They are very, very good, yeah.
Very good defense. So they've got a young offense. So it's kind of the opposite of what Georgia has. When you look at this matchup, you also got to look at the trench warfare and run game identity for both of these teams. Ohio State, 37 points per game. Bo Jackson, 952 yards, 5 touchdowns. Not the old Bo Jackson, the new Bo Jackson.
This guy's really good, though.
But he looks very similar
really
to him
good
in the way he runs the ball, I'll tell you that much. Run game finally unleashed versus Michigan. 117 yards on 22 carries for Bo Jackson. That dude's dominant.
He's good.
And he's got a low center of gravity, too. And he knows how to bulldoze over guys.
I mean, watching him Saturday, say what you want. Quinshawn Judkins and Travion Henderson were good last year. To me, Nate, this guy may be better.
Yeah.
Than those
I
guys.
1,000% agree.
He's good. He's special.
1,000% agree. So look at Indiana. 44 points per game, second nationally, rushing 229 yards per game. As much credit as we give this Mendoza quarterback and in the offense they run with the passing attack, their rushing attack is lethal.
Yep.
229 yards is not something to mess around with. And that's playing Oregon on the road as well, where I saw them run it easy.
Right.
Hemby, 868 yards rushing, 6 touchdowns. Then we talk about both defenses are being elite. Ohio State rush defense, 81 yards allowed per game, ranked 4th. Indiana's rush defense, 79 yards per game, ranked 2nd. I mean, this is a top 5 matchup any way you look at it. This is the most physical matchup Ohio State has played, and the first time Indiana has seen a front this discipline since Oregon/Penn State. Brad, question to you. If neither team can run the ball consistently, does this turn into a pure quarterback duel?
Absolutely. And, that's going to be interesting to me. I think Ohio State holds the advantage, running game, just because I think Ohio State's defensive front is better than Indiana's. But I think it then turns into a passing game. And not to jump too far ahead of that, but to me, advantage Ohio State if it does.
Agreed. Let's talk about the perimeter matchups because we can't talk enough about these guys. Ohio State's wide receivers versus Indiana's receivers. Both lethal attacks as well. Jeremiah Smith, can't say enough about him. He is the difference maker in every football game he plays in. 942 yards through receiving and then 11 touchdowns receiving. Carnell Tate heating up, 82 yards and a touchdown versus Michigan. They get both those guys going. Look out. It's going to be hard to stop them. On the other side, again, some underrated guys. Omar Cooper Jr., 828 yards, receiving 11 touchdowns as well. So his numbers are right up there with Jeremiah Smith.
Right.
Davion Chandler is a home run threat. 65-yard touchdown last week against Purdue. He's a big-time playmaker as well. That's going to keep Ohio State's defense up at night. Watching film, the key matchups to look out for. Indiana averages 9 yards per pass. That's crazy. 6th in the nation. Ohio State allows 121 yards passing per game, ranked number 1 nationally. When you got Caleb Downs and the rest of that secondary back there, look out. It's going to be hard to throw against them. Names to watch. I just said it. Caleb Downs, controlling the deep middle. And then Igbinosun versus Surratt Cooper on the outside. Big matchups there. Brad, does Indiana's explosive perimeter play finally expose a crack in the OSU secondary, or is this another no-fly zone night for the Buckeyes and Caleb Downs?
Very short and sweet, no. Ohio State is elite in the secondary. Absolutely not.
I wish it was different, but it's just Caleb Downs is a top 5 pick.
It's crazy. I will say this. I think Ohio State and throw out everyone else. Diego Pavia. I'm just going to say that name. Diego. Throw it out. Ohio State's got the 2 best players in the country: Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, hands down.
Yeah.
End of argument.
And then Julian Sayin playing elite.
Julian Sayin's a top 5 quarterback. Absolutely.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I just want to say this real quick about Caleb Downs. You know, he's a local guy.
Yeah.
Grew up and played football about 15 minutes from us.
Right down the road.
And Nick Saban recruited this guy out of high school, and he said even before this guy ever played a single snap for Bama, he was a top 10 NFL pick.
Yeah.
And he could have played in the NFL his freshman year.
We saw it his freshman year at Alabama. I mean, when he hit the portal after Saban retired, Alabama fans were devastated because he was elite day one when he stepped on the campus there. And Nate, he took that Ohio State defense to a whole nother level last year, and he's backing it up this year.
Let's talk about the big picture for this one. Who's more battle tested? Indiana's last real test, Penn State and Oregon, both close, both physical. But that was a month ago. Ohio State's last test just came off of a snowy, bruising rivalry win at Michigan. Ryan Day's first win versus Michigan as head coach was crazy to think about. That was a big hurdle to overcome.
Absolutely.
A lot of weight lifted off of his shoulders moving forward. Played 4 full quarters of high-level football. Wear and tear might play a factor in this one, too, for both of these teams. You can say, well, Indiana hasn't been tested for over a month. You can also say, well, Ohio State had to play a very physical matchup last week.
That's a good point.
And not everyone's going to be 100% heading into this one. Fresh versus battle-tested angle. Like I said, Indiana may be rested but cold. Ohio State may be tuned up but drained. So you could look at it either way. Brad, does the recent Michigan war help Ohio State come out sharp, or was the cost of that win too high?
I don't think, it's a fair question, but it was a physical game. Indiana really took, I believe Indiana played last Friday. So they took care of business and was able to rest. I kind of throw that out the window. At this point in the season, every team's beat up, every team's bruised, every team's dealing with injuries. Throw that out. I mean, it's the Big Ten championship. Exactly. It's that point in the season where, if you're 1,000% healthy, there's something crazy going on because no team is healthy at this point. Yeah,
if you shy away from physicality, you're going to play bad football.
Right.
It's just the name of the game. Let's talk about the keys to this game. Starting off with Ohio State. 4 keys to victory for them. Number 1, they got to protect Julian Sayin from early pressure. Number 2, establish Bo Jackson enough to stay balanced. Those two go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. You start off with the run game, you keep Julian safe. Chances are you're going to have some opportunities in play action later on. Number 3, win the explosive play battle. And number 4, keep Indiana from flipping field position with turnovers. They're plus 17 in turnover margin, which is insane.
That is.
And Julian Sayin had a little bit of shakeup against Michigan. Had a pick.
He did very, very early in that game.
And that was just a bad throw.
Yeah, it was.
Came back, turned it around, didn't phase him much. Yep. So he is capable of making mistakes.
Absolutely.
He's not perfect.
He's still a redshirt freshman at the end of the day.
And then Indiana keys to victory. Number 1, win on early downs, force 3rd and longs for Julian Sayin. Number 2, continue elite turnover production. Got to get an interception from Julian Sayin early in this one. Shake his confidence a little bit. Number 3, hit 2 to 3 shots to Cooper/Chandler. You're gonna have to throw. You're gonna have to test that secondary, regardless of how good they are.
Absolutely.
You made it here.
Mm-hmm.
You're 12-0. You're number 2 in the country. Play like it.
Absolutely.
You got to. And number 4, make Julian Sayin uncomfortable earlier. Maybe dial up some mismatch or some disguises in the secondary. Get him second guessing himself.
Yep.
Brad, heading into this one, number 2 Indiana versus number 1 Ohio State in the Loud House in Lucas Oil Stadium, Indianapolis, Indiana for this game. Ohio State favored by 5.5 in this one. It's Mendoza versus Sayin. It's the run game. It's the elite secondaries. Who comes out on top to win the Big Ten championship on Fox at 8 p.m. on Saturday night, Brad?
I feel like I'm going to get a little bit of hate with this one, and that's okay. I'm just trying to give my honest prediction here. I'm going to take the Buckeyes. And Nate, I believe we predicted Indiana, Oregon back in what was that, October?
Yeah.
I thought for sure Oregon would win. Hey, I've doubted Indiana. I've doubted them for 2 years. Give me the Buckeyes 38-17.
Wow. This is a statement game.
Indiana is a good team. I appreciate what Curt Cignetti's done. Ohio State's just, they're elite.
They're just that much better.
They're elite. I mean, I think you see, I think it's close. It could be very, very well tied up at halftime. Ultimately, Jeremiah Smith makes plays, Cardinal Tate makes plays, Bo Jackson gets going, and Caleb Downs, I think, is just, he's the eraser.
Yeah.
Ohio State is the best team in the country. Whether that translates into a national championship, that's what we're about to find out. But Saturday night in Lucas Oil, Ohio State makes a statement, and I don't think it's close, to be honest with you. Once again, Buckeyes 38-17.
Yeah, and I just want to say this before I make my prediction. I'm very curious to see how this affects the team this week. I don't think it will. Brian Hartline up for the Kentucky job. Curious to see how that plays into this one, because if he does take that job, chances are he leaves early.
Could.
Because you got to get a head start if you're the head coach of Kentucky. They got a long road ahead of them at the University of Kentucky. But I'm still going to take the Ohio State Buckeyes. To Brad's point, they're just elite, man.
Yeah.
You can hate them all you want. You can say they haven't played a tough schedule. The truth of the matter is they have the best offense and defensive player in the country. They have a top 5 quarterback in the country. They've got top, I'd say, first or second receiving core in the nation. It's going to be hard to beat them. Absolutely. We saw Georgia went back-to-back in 2021, 2022. I think Ohio State could be on their way to go back-to-back.
Very capable, absolutely. Very
Their defense is elite. Their offense is elite. And that's what won Georgia those two natties. So give me the Ohio State Buckeyes in this one. I still think Indiana will have a strong case to win a playoff game or two, because they're still going to be in it regardless.
Right.
It's just interesting to see how that plays out. But fans, drop your score predictions down below. Let us know who you think comes out on top in the Big Ten Championship game. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate all the support so far. We're almost to 1,000 subs. We're so close. And also, be sure to check us out this Friday night for the American Athletic Conference Championship game between Tulane and North Texas for Break the Huddle After Dark. We'll be live 8 p.m. Eastern Time to give in-game commentary and analysis. And we'll do a couple of sneak previews for these championship matchup games as well on Saturday afternoon. We'll see you on Friday night. It's time to break the huddle.